thought-provoking, motivational, inspirational, attitude, values, faith, soul-inspiring content, value for money.
Hello, welcome to the 24th edition of ENCORE, the platform on which we discuss all things marriage, love, and sex. They call me Uncle Ebo White. I am a playwright, a novelist, and the publisher of a magazine called Rover Report Monthly. I'm also the CEO of Roverman Productions. Now, at Roverman Productions, we bring Ghanaians a new play every quarter at the National Theatre. And this quarter, the title of our play is The Comeback, and it is running at the National Theatre here in Accra this weekend. That is tomorrow, those of you watching live, on the 2nd and 3rd of September, and it will be repeated on the 9th and 10th of September. You wouldn't want to miss this. With the comeback, we are trying a new innovation in theater. We're using LED screens for the show, and you will not believe the effect of it. So just join us, and you would be blessed. But all these apart, what I would need you to know is that I am very committed to helping you become your best self. Now, since July, we have every month we have come up with a theme or a broad topic. And every Friday, we've looked at a topic within that theme or that broader topic. We started in July with, because it happened to be my month of birth and my wedding anniversary month. So I turned the spotlight on myself and on my marriage, the things I had gone through, my ups and downs in marriage. And then in August, we continued with common sense marriage. Now, this is September. And for September, we're going to look at the alphabets of love and marriage, the ABCs of love and marriage. Every Friday, we are going to look at a letter in the English alphabet. And then we'll look at words that begin with that letter. And then learn something about marriage, about love from that letter. So that is what we're going to do this weekend, this month. And at the end of September, we'll see how many of the 26 letters in the English alphabet we would have covered. So, if you're ready, let us begin. Now, before I go on to my presentation, I want to say I am dedicating this presentation to a special couple that have become very dear to me. Last Wednesday was the wedding anniversary of Mr. Ephraim Ewuku and his beautiful, beautiful wife, Augustina Ewuku. So I dedicate this to Ephraim and Estina. I asked the technical team to put a picture of the couple on the screen, and I believe that they are doing it. If they are not doing it, somebody is going to get into serious trouble. So, well, beautiful yourself. Well, since we are beginning with today, then we'll have to begin with the letter A. There are a number of interesting words that begin with the letter A that are relevant for marriage. But for our discussion today, I'm just going to pay attention to 4 of them, 4 of the many words that begin with A. So we are going to look at acceptance, affection, and attractiveness. So 3 would pay attention to 3. 3 of the words that begin with A: acceptance, affection, or being affectionate, and attractiveness. So, shall we begin? 1, acceptance. When we fall in love, we do so often without fully knowing the person we say we are falling in love with. We often fall in love with our own perception of the person. But as the relationship develops, we get to know the person better and for real. And it is often at this point that the relationship hits a crisis, especially if the real person is very different from the person we imagined. There is, however, a weapon for overcoming this crisis in a relationship, and it is called acceptance. We mature in love when we learn to accept the other person without being judgmental and without making the person feel inadequate. And the basis for acceptance is the knowledge that none of us is perfect. I accept you because I know that you also will have to go through the process of accepting me. Those who refuse to accept others find themselves jumping from one relationship to the other in search of the elusive, perfect person. Accepting another person means you don't try to change them. Instead, you accept them for who and what they are and leave them to decide which areas of their lives they, on their own volition, want to work on for themselves. But there's another aspect of acceptance that we often overlook in a love relationship, and that is accepting yourself or self-acceptance. To be the kind of person who can give and receive love, you have to learn to accept yourself. You may not be perfect. Nobody is. You may not be as beautiful or handsome as you would have wished you could be. You may not compare favorably with your other siblings or with your friends, but it doesn't matter. You are okay as you are. And it is only when you accept yourself that you can receive and give love. Those who have not accepted themselves are terrible to live with. They are. They put so much pressure on the relationship, not because of what is happening in the relationship, but because of what is happening inside themselves. They haven't accepted who they are. The second word that begins with A that we're going to look at, affectionate. Affectionate is defined as feeling or showing love and affection. It is a physical expression of feelings. A steady stream of affection fosters the environment in which love can flourish and intimacy and bonding can develop. Studies show that relationships that have higher rates of physical affection report more relationship satisfaction. Affection is a lubricant in a love relationship and in marriage. Being affectionate keeps love burning and keeps it alive. The happy couple is the one who show affection even publicly. Being affectionate helps build trust and deepen a sense of security. Affection has two components, physical and verbal. On the physical level, being affectionate is made up of little actions and gestures that communicate to the person you love that you care and that you are tender towards him or her. It could be as simple as holding hands or giving a hug or kissing. For instance, walk into a room holding hands or with your hands around each other, and it says to your partner, I am not ashamed of you. I want the world to know that I love you. And that is the physical affection. Women in particular thrive on physical affection, and they seek it from their husbands and boyfriends. For instance, when your wife asks you to help her fasten her brassiere, it is not because she cannot do it for herself. She is seeking affection from you, and no man should be too busy to oblige when asked. So the men who, if your wife comes and say, oh, can you pull up my zip for me? And say, oh, I'm busy. Hey, you have missed it. Shame on you. Things, requests like that, you oblige, no matter how busy. Even if you are dying, you do it before you die. It is part of showing physical affection. The second component of being affectionate is verbal. Verbal expressions of affection are the words you speak intended to validate your positive feelings of love and affection and make your partner feel loved. This can be unique to you and your partner and your relationship as long as what you say produces the intended emotions and reinforces your affection for each other. Giving verbal affection, such as saying, "I love you," or "I care about you," is an important way to strengthen bonds, and it's even good for you physically and mentally. To show affection verbally, compliment your partner every day. Compliments as a form of showing verbal affection can boost self-esteem, show that you care, and make your partner feel good. But always give truthful compliments, or you risk what you say being dismissed as mere flattery. So look for things that you admire, appreciate, or that the other person is good at to compliment. This can be anything from the way they look, a feature of their face that you particularly enjoy, like their eyes or their lips, a personality trait, accomplishments, the positive way that they make you feel, or the skill set that you admire with them. But be honest about it, and don't let any opportunity to compliment your partner slip you by. Another way of showing affection is to stop whatever you are doing when your partner arrives home or when he or she enters your space, so that you can have a brief interaction with him or her. This communicates to your partner that you care and that they are more important than anything else and that you miss them. So for instance, if you get home, if you are home and your partner comes in and you are on the phone, tell the person on the line, "Hold on, hang on, my partner just came in." And then turn attention to your partner and say, "Hi, you are welcome." Have a little interaction before you go back to the phone. Still on verbal affection, give your partner a nickname. It must be a positive one and not one to embarrass him or her. Couples who have nicknames for each other show that they have a special bond. The name you choose could reflect some characteristic, a habit, or an event related to the person. It can also be a shortened form of their name. Indeed, if you say you are a couple and you don't have nicknames for each other, then I question your claim to that title of being a couple. It means you don't have that bond between you. Finally, on verbal affection, take time to say thank you. Think of all the things your partner does for you or the ways they improve your life. Look them in the eyes and express your appreciation in a few sentences. You want them to know exactly how much you love and appreciate them and everything that they do for you. The best way to showing affection or being affectionate is to combine the physical and the verbal. But if you are in a long-distance relationship and your partner is out of town, then verbal affection becomes even more important because that is all you have. You can't do the physical bit. So you will need to up your game with a verbal affection to bolster your bond and to make you feel close even though there is distance. And this helps to reinforce the feeling of safety, comfort, and of trust. Being affectionate in your relationship does not only strengthen your bond as a couple, it is also good for your health and that of your partner. Showing affection relieves stress and pain and helps people to cope with difficulties they may be struggling with. Showing affection releases oxytocin, which lowers blood pressure. It also helps you to control the stress hormone cortisol and activates a part of the brain that boosts the immune system. So it is not just for the sake of your partner that you have to be affectionate. It is for your own good health as well. The third word, the third and final A word, is attractiveness. Almost all love relationships begin with attraction. I see something about you that draws me to you, or that makes me want to know, to get you know you better. That's attraction. Or you see something about me that makes you want to know more me better. That is attraction. It may be the way you dress, or the way you walk, or the way you speak, or the way you put your words together. Or it may be the way you carry yourself, or even the car you drive. So attraction is a very important force to make me give you more than the casual attention. And that is how most relationships begin. The problem is, most people, even when they know what attracted their partner to them, fail to keep their attractiveness alive once the relationship becomes stable. For instance, the young man who was sensitive stops being sensitive. The young lady who was sweet stops being sweet. When that happens, the partner who has stopped paying attention to his or her attractiveness undermines the relationship. You see, if I was attractive to you because you dress well, and because of that, we got into a relationship and got married, then you must remember that I would find ladies who dress attractively, who dress well, very attractive. And if you stop being attractive, I'll begin to pay attention to those out there who are dressing well. If a girl is attracted to you because you were caring and a good listener, then you must know that after marriage, your wife will continue to find men who are caring and good listeners attractive. To keep her and your marriage, never forget what made you attractive. And if you use money to woo a girl, and that became what made you attractive to her, then my brother, you must always make sure you have a lot of money, or you will lose her to the next man who throws money her way. So, nurture your attractiveness. Keep whatever made you attractive to your partner alive for as long as you can. I know that as we grow older, our body may lose some of its beauty, but hey, make a battle of it. Don't lose to age easily. Even when you put on a bit of weight, you can still dress smartly and attractively. But there's another aspect of attractiveness I want us to take note of. And I would like to give you a picture. And this will be relevant to Ghanaians. Because for those of you watching from other places who are not Ghanaians, you must know that we in Ghana don't have dressed chicken. We go to the market and buy a live one. And then we take home and look for somebody who is bold enough to kill it for us. Now, when we're going to buy chicken for Christmas, for instance, we make the choice based on the feathers of the bird. The more beautiful and healthy looking the feathers are, the more our chances of picking that particular bird. But here's the catch. When we take that bird home, we are not going to eat the feathers. The feathers that form the basis for the choice, we pluck them off and throw them away. But it was the feathers that made us choose that particular bird. So, what's the lesson here? If all you have is what attracted me to you, and you don't have depth to yourself, you will eventually lose me. What attracted you, what made me attracted to you, or what made you attractive to me is the feathers. That feathers I'm not going to eat. I'll plug and throw away. So if what attracted me to you was your dressing, oh, please make sure there is more to you than your dressing. Because the more I get to know you, the more I am looking for something else. Yes, I need you to keep that which made you attractive to me, but I'll be looking for more. And you better make sure that you have more to yourself than the feathers that attracted me to you. So to be a good partner in a love relationship or in marriage, you must take time to deepen your mind and your heart. You must pay attention to your character. To be a good partner, you must be a complete and wholesome person. And that is the ultimate attractiveness. So, that is the A of love relationships and of marriage. We use 3 A words today. We looked at acceptance, affection, and attractiveness. God willing, next week, Friday, we shall go on to the next letter in the English alphabet, B, and use 2 or 3 B words to help us build stronger, better, and warmer relationships. Well, I want to thank you for staying with us. I will now pause here and take your questions. Let the interaction begin, and let's have fun this day. Okay.
Uncle, our first question is from Nilante. Can you be attractive and not be attention-seeking, or the term you used last time? Sorry.
Okay.
So can you be attractive and not be attention-seeking, or the term you used the last time?
The term I used the last time is attention junkie. And attention junkie, no, listen, every human being, of course, a certain level of attention makes you feel good. I mean, if you enter a room and people smile at you, it makes you feel good, doesn't it? But the attention junkies, they are a very different breed of people. They will go to every extent together. So let's understand that it is normal to be to want to be to have attention, but attention junkies, they will go to any extent and do anything for the attention. That's what makes them different from the rest of us. Well, yes, can you be attractive and not be? Yes, in the first place, you owe it to yourself to be attractive. You owe it to yourself to look good and to be your best self everywhere you go, to represent yourself well. And as long as you represent yourself well, you become attractive to people. That may not be because you want that attraction, but you owe it to yourself as a human being to always make sure that you're putting your best foot forward, because that is your duty and your responsibility as a person.
Uncle Bo, can you find others attractive when you don't find yourself attractive?
Yes, you can. You can, but then you need to also work on yourself. Because what will happen is that, yes, you'll find almost, indeed, when you don't find yourself attractive, you'll find almost everybody attractive, because you think everybody else is better than you. Now, when you find somebody attractive and hopefully develop a relationship with that person, because you don't feel attractive, you will kill that relationship. That is the root of this jealousy. You know, the people you relate to and they're asking you, who called you? Who are you looking at? And things like that. Why is so smiling at you and things? It's because they don't feel good about themselves. When you don't feel good about yourself, you put enormous pressure on your relationship, and you may kill it, even when there is genuine love. So we all owe it to ourselves to be able to look in the mirror and say to the image in the mirror, hi, I love you. Because guess what? You may not think much of yourself, but those of us looking at you, what we see is wonderful. But let it reflect within. Accept that within, and you'll be fine. And you will be fine. You don't need any extra thing. When God does not create junk, and you are definitely not no junk.
Mate, can a lady sustain her attractiveness forever, especially when she would lose her features with time?
For as long as possible, yes. Forever, no, none of us can. But keep it for as long as possible, and make sure that as you are losing that, there is something else about you that is attractive. You remember what I said about the feathers? The feathers attracted me to you, made me make the choice. But if all you have are feathers, I'm going to feel very, very cheated. So yes, you had what they call the Coca-Cola shape, Coca-Cola bottle shape. You will lose that, granted. But you will not lose it tomorrow. You will lose it after a period of time. But within that period when you have it, make the most of it. But by the time you lose it, let me have something that turns my attention from the looks. So I came in for the looks, but I'm saying because what is behind that looks was awesome. And I cannot think of a better person to spend my life with. If you're able to do that, then you don't really need to worry too much about what the years do to you. I can see that a member of my team, Elijah, has gone to take the hot seat. That tells me that he has a question to ask. And I'm bracing myself because he always has very, very interesting questions. Yes, Elijah, what do you have for me?
Uncle, thank you. Uncle, it has to do with what you said, sometimes self-affirmation. But, Uncle, to a point, maybe self-affirmation can get to self-loathing, or you begin to loathe yourself more than you should.
Yeah.
And also, my question has to do with the being your wholesome self and how to achieve that wholesomeness as a person before it reflects to your next person, your partner.
You've got to understand that every human being has something he's dealing with. There isn't any human being you admire or who carries himself with confidence, who in his lonely times or when he's alone does not have things about him that he wishes were different. But what makes him come out so confidently is because he or she has decided, you know what, it doesn't matter. I'm fine. So that thing is there, that box him. That makes him feel that, I wish I could change this. I wish my nose were a little thinner. I wish I was fairer. I wish I had longer hair. But he has also decided that, you know what, I'm fine. I'm fine. I may not have as long a hair as Akosia, but I'm fine. And carries himself with that. And that's why we see that person with such confidence and we admire that confidence and we say, oh, I wish I were like that. And then you know something? When you carry yourself with confidence, people don't notice the things you cry over. They don't. It doesn't become an issue anymore. You sweep them along by the confidence with which you carry yourself. And that's the secret of all confident people. Everybody you know who is confident has something he's not too comfortable with, but has decided that it doesn't matter. I will just make the most of my life. And that is why we love them, and that is why we admire them. They are not perfect, but they've decided that their imperfections don't matter, and they flow with life as it is. And that is how to become confident.
Uncle,
Yeah.
whenever I think about going home, I find myself getting upset. My wife hasn't done anything against me, or at least I can't place my mind on anything in particular. But I have noticed this for about 3 weeks now. Whenever I think about going home, I get upset. What can I do about this?
Wow. There is something you are not happy with, that you are not owning up to. Maybe you think it is not fair to even think like that or to feel like that. So you're struggling with it and you're bearing it. It may be the way the house is kept. It may be the sight that greets you when you get home. That's the sight of your wife that greets you. Or it may even be that there is somebody else that you are beginning to feel very, very strongly attached to. Whatever it is, I would like you to be honest about it. But whilst on this, let me make this statement to especially the women who are housewives, or who are often home when their husbands come in. There's a tendency to neglect your looks. You know, I'm coming from the office. My female colleagues are smartly dressed. I've interacted with them the whole day. I am coming home. I'm coming home to the woman who means the world to me. Then what greets me is a woman with her hair still in curls? Or is it curls or careless? Come again? All right. Without any makeup, who is still smelling of the Kobe that she's been using for the stew. Oh, next time I'm coming home, I'm not that eager. When I was in secondary school, there was a woman I met. She was the mother of one of my classmates, and I had gone home with him one day after school. And when we got to the house, the woman had dressed smartly. So I asked my friend, "Is your mother going out?" And he said, No. My father will be in any moment, and so she's ready for him. I said, "Really?" He said, "Yeah. My mother works at home from home, but any time when it is 30 minutes for my father to come in, she stops whatever she's doing. She gets to dress up just to welcome my father." Think about it. They say that a word to the wise is enough, so let's leave it there.
Uncle, I fell in love with my husband's humor and ambitious nature.
Yeah.
His character attracted me to him and not his looks.
Yeah.
Sincerely, he's the opposite of my taste.
Okay.
Will I ever find him physically attractive?
If he keeps the other qualities that drew you to him alive and he deepens them, yes, I believe that you'll come to respond to him. Because you see, we respond to people at the emotional level, and then it manifests in the physical. So as long as he continues and keeping his attractiveness fresh and alive, yes, you would get there. This issue of not your type, no, let's give it up. He's your type. That's why you married him, and love him. But I hope that the humor he gave you never grows cold or stale. I also hope that his ambitious nature and his sense of direction and focus never dies. I think you got yourself a good man. Well done.
Uncle, can you build sex attraction with your husband if it was never there in the first place?
Can you build what?
I guess what you mean, sexual attraction.
With your husband, if it was not there to begin with. It should have been there. It is easier when it is there to begin with. It is easier when it is there to begin with. Otherwise, it takes a lot to let it happen. It takes a lot. I wish it was there before. And I think, since that question has come, let me speak to those who are not yet married. If you don't find him sexually attractive, if you don't want to go to bed with him, please don't marry him. If you don't want to go to bed with her, please don't marry her. Because then it will save you a lot of headache and a lot of difficulty. But once you've done it, if you're already married to him, begin to do activities together. Begin to flow as a couple, build a certain chemistry, and then you will realize that in doing that, it would be easier to give yourself to him or to give yourself to her. But don't underestimate the difficulties. I know how difficult it can be, and I wish you all the best.
Sir, unfortunately or fortunately, I am a very emotional person. I love being pampered. My grandmother raised me and gave me so much attention, love, and care. I love my girlfriend, but she's too straightforward and always giving too much time to her work. I don't know if this should be a reason to go on in the relationship with her. What do I do?
My brother, you will not find your grandmother anywhere. So stop looking for her. I think that's what you are doing. You're making a poor girl compete with your grandmother. It's not fair. Your grandmother was not that way when she was younger, when she was the age of your girlfriend. So give her a break. And together, I hope the two of you will grow and evolve in a relationship that will suit you and work for you. You want to be pampered. Are you also good at pampering? So check that one also. Pamper this girl, and let's see whether she will not respond to it. And so give her a chance. But remember, she is not your grandmother. Grandparents are sweet. But we are sweet that way because we made our mistakes with our spouses. I hope you understand what I'm saying. I'm a grandfather. I pamper my grandchildren. And I pamper them for a very mischievous reason. I pamper my grandchildren because I want to punish my children. I want to revenge for all the troubles they gave me when I was raising them up. So I pamper their children so their children will feel good and give them a lot of headache. And then when they come and say, hey, could you say, I say, do you remember what it was, the kind of hard time you gave me? So that's one reason why we are sweet. But hey, we are also sweet because we've learned over the years to be sweet. We've learned the power of sweet. We were not like that. We have learned it. So don't expect it of any young people. They will learn as they go on.
Uncle Bo, there is this lady I got pregnant and wanted her to deliver. But she went out to a store, bought a drink which apparently was expired. She bled and I asked her to go to the hospital. She was advised to abort the pregnancy because of the way she bled. This happened in April. Just this Wednesday, she sent me a message telling me she realized she is still pregnant even after the abortion. I have not seen her since that happened. What should I do?
Have you heard of the life story of Archbishop Duncan Williams? Archbishop Duncan Williams, and I'm going to tell you, when the mother conceived him, the mother bled for so long that the doctors told her it is in your best interest for us to abort the baby. So they did DNC, what they call DNC, and aborted the baby. Then the woman discovered that her stomach was still growing bigger and bigger. She went back and they said, oh, you are still pregnant. Apparently, there were twins. The procedure only aborted one and left the archbishop, the baby who was to become the archbishop later, in there. So you wait. Let's see. These days, don't stress yourself. There's something called DNA. And let's look at the age of the pregnancy. So be supportive. You can go back to the hospital with her, find out the age of the pregnancy, and let's see what it is. So don't be quick to run away from this and say, it's not my baby, it's not my baby. It may be your baby. Who knows? They may be twins or even triplets. And some of them have been removed. But there's this strong one who is hanging in there. Who knows? He may become the archbishop tomorrow. So, hey, just get close to the girl and help her through. I'm sure she's going through a difficult time, so help her.
Uncle, I still can't tell what attracted me to marry my husband.
Wow.
But I know I love him. Is that possible?
Yes, it is. You love him so much that you have not bothered to look at specifics. And I think that is true love. You are not making it mechanical. And I love that. I love that you have that feeling about your husband. And I hope that he also feels the same way towards you. So, hey, girl, enjoy the man God has blessed you with.
Uncle, I find that my wife is getting less and less attractive towards me. I mention it to her, but she does not take it seriously. I like to look good, and I get new stuff ever so often. I get some for her, and she complains I am wasting money. Then she asks me, who do I want to look good for? Because she has not told me I am not looking good. How do I deal with this situation?
Let her know that you look good for yourself. And for all of us, that's the first thing. We owe it to ourselves to look good. Because you see, when you dress well and when you look good, you feel good. You really feel good. It helps with your self-image. So so tell her you're dressing first and foremost for yourself. She also should begin to dress for herself. She owes that to herself. And she owes that to you. I hope you'll be able to communicate this to her and get her to understand that she owes it to herself to look her best. And she owes that to you and to the children, because the children want to be proud of their mother. So she should up her game. And I like the fact that you buy stuff for her. So now, this is the next thing. If she's not doing, look for opportunities to go out with her. And let's see how she will dress. So encourage her. Go to church together with her. Come and watch my play. Come to the National Theatre this weekend with her. She will be compelled to dress well. If she doesn't dress well, don't worry. You'll come with her. She will come and see how people are dressed. Next quarter when she's coming, she'll up again. She'll dress better. So use my production as a way of getting her to up again. Yeah.
Uncle, I feel so blessed to have my wife, so much that I give her and my mother-in-law gifts often. Last month, I bought an expensive gold watch for my mother-in-law.
Wow.
Just to say thank you for raising my wife well. But my wife is mad at me. She says I'm wasting money. Should I stop?
Well, boss, I think I'll have to salute you. I think you're a wonderful person, and I thank God for your life. Now, find out why your wife thinks it is a waste. Gold watch, pa. Charlie, I think you raised the standard, though. You raised the standard, Papa. By the way, how does your mother-in-law think about this and feel about this? I hope you're not doing this to buy her, because I don't think it will work. Your mother-in-law will be on your side as long as her daughter is happy and you're making her daughter happy. So if you could afford it, okay. But if it was a stretch for you and you did that just to make, to earn some bragging rights, then it wasn't too wise. Talk with your wife to find out exactly what. By the way, have you bought a gold watch for your wife? Think about that. All right, let's go.
Anastasia says, how do you achieve emotional attraction with a partner who has no emotions?
Ooh, one of them. He has emotions. He has emotions. Don't mind him. He has emotions. He's not showing it, but he has emotions, and that's where being affectionate comes in. So, try a bit of physical affection. If that doesn't work, try a verbal. One way or the other, you could make him respond to you. So don't write him off. Don't write him off. He has it in there. Don't mind him.
Uncle, this is a comment. Kofi Akoto says, Uncle, I still want to tell your audience that your 2 novels have saved my marriage, and I have a testimony.
Wow. Kofi, I'm happy you have a testimony, and I appreciate the endorsement.
How would you know your husband loves you the way you do if your love is unconditional?
That is all that matters. That you love him unconditionally. And Mommy, that's wonderful. It's wonderful to be able to say, I love him unconditionally. He's a lucky man to have you. But let it stay at that. Don't begin to say, does he also love me as much? No, because the machine to measure love has not been invented yet. So this is how you can tell whether your husband loves you. If you love him, he loves you. That is what matters the most. But well done. I love the fact that you love that man unconditionally.
Nanefia says, Uncle, a friend started talking to this guy she was friends with a year ago. They have been talking for a while, and she decided to go and see the guy. but none have told each other if they are in a relationship or not. Recently, she made a statement to the guy she is single and free. The guy in question now got angry and asked why she wrote that. Uncle, they have stopped talking and just 2 days ago, she said the guy called to tell her he misses her. Uncle, is this a good start for a relationship? Is this guy genuine?
Oh, Mama, cry your own cry. Cry your own cry. I'll take this question if your friend would ask, but I don't like it when people drink medicine for the sick person. So I'll leave it there. But I'd like to make one comment. I am alarmed at the number of young people who meet people online. They spend all the time talking and then go to visit them. Go out of their station to where the person is to visit them. What are you asking for? What really are you asking for? Anyway, yes, Abizi, you wanted to take issue with what I said.
I think it's a trend.
What's the trend?
Okay, I'm getting to it. It's a trend where...
Wait. Why is Abizi not in it?
No.
All right, go on.
Uncle, it's a trend where young men meet young ladies.
Yes.
They talk, they have some sort of chemistry, or they have a good conversation. So automatically, especially Ghanaian guys, automatically there's an assumption that they are dating. It is a trend. It's happening everywhere. It's happened so many times with me, especially. When I meet somebody, I talk to the person, we are cool. We have common, what?
You have chemistry. Cool.
Yeah, chemistry.
Yeah.
But in one's mind, the person didn't think of a relationship, but automatically most men come up to you like, so we're in a relationship, right? Or you go out with the person to meet a group of friends, and then they conclude that you're in a relationship. So are these ones men or they are boys? Yeah.
Abizi wants me to fight a battle for her, but I won't do that. I won't do that. So all the young men who have not treated Abizi right, shame on you. But let there be no assumption of a relationship unless it's been expressed. Unless it has been expressed. Don't just assume that because he bought a ticket for me to Uncle Bohwai's show, we are dating. You may not be dating. So get one way or the other, let it be stated. Let it be said, and let it be agreed. And that is why I applaud one of my young men who took the trouble to take his beautiful girlfriend out to a fantastic place and then pop the question. That's how it is done. Don't assume. Don't assume it. Otherwise, you'll be in for a rude shock. All right, let's go. Oh, I didn't mention any names, did I? No, I didn't mention any names.
So that situation brings to mind the guy who was in a friend zone with this lady for a while and assumed that they were dating. Only for one day the girl to come to him and introduce a guy she has said yes to.
Yeah. Yeah. No, don't assume anything.
Dorcas says, Uncle, how do I get my husband to go with me to watch your play?
Whoa, you are married to one of those men who don't want to come and watch my play. Well, Dorcas, Dorcas, right?
Yes.
One way to do it is to buy the ticket for him. But there are people, even when you buy the ticket for him, they won't come. So get your girlfriend and come with her, and tell him, Ajo and I are going to the show. Especially after you've said, can we go? He said, no, I don't want to go. All right, you don't want to go. I want to go. I'm going with Ajo. Next quarter, he will buy the ticket. There is something about men that women need to understand. We don't enjoy it when we think that the car has taken off without us. So don't always sit home waiting for us. Go. And when you come back singing. Come back dancing. And when he laughs, when he asks you what, say you should have been there. Go and watch. And next time he will come and watch. All right, let's go.
I'm in a long distance relationship with my girlfriend. She did things in the past that sometimes gets me infuriated anytime I think about it. I've forgiven her, but sometimes the thoughts alone hurts. She compared me to her male friend. When we were about to start dating, she openly said she knows what she's getting herself into. She tried to break up with me on 2 different occasions. Am I overreacting? I feel she's realized how much I like her and decided to do all that. I feel I'm not her first choice, hence my love has dwindled. I don't have that burning desire towards her anymore. Please help me.
Oh, Anthony, right? Oh, Anthony, I think you have a decision to make. Have a chat with this girl. Define the future of the relationship. Find out whether, as far as she's concerned, there's any future. And if she doesn't think so, free her to go her way. You will find someone who would celebrate you and for whom you will be the first choice. But if at this point when you are courting, you do know you are not her first choice, trust me, it's not going to get better. It's going to get worse. So have a chat with her. Have a chat with her. And let's see how it goes.
Marie says, Uncle Ebo, please, I am someone who thinks love shouldn't be the main reason why I should marry someone. Am I right?
Yes and no. There's got to be a certain amount of attraction. There's got to be a certain amount of affection. There's got to be a certain amount of chemistry for you to take the decision to marry the person. But once marriage happens, then that thing, so love can often become, what makes you want to get to know this person can become the furthest that I referred to in my presentation. After marriage, yes, there are other things, qualities that must come to play. Patience, respect, admiration. There are other things, emotional maturity. They must come to play. Otherwise, what you call love will not help at all. So that's why I said yes and no.
Uncle, please, I still do receive calls from the junior brother of my ex because he took me as his mentor, so he calls me anytime he's in trouble and needs advice on certain decisions. Anytime my ex-fiancée realizes I spoke to him, anytime my fiancée realizes I spoke to him or speaking with him, she gets annoyed why I should be talking to the little boy who still confides in me. Just now, before the start of this telecast, he called again, and my woman has gone crazy over it. Uncle, what should I do? Meanwhile, my woman is fully aware I have moved away from my ex. Help me, please.
Wow. This is a difficult situation, isn't it? Because I suspect that you want to help the girl. But look at it through the eyes of your girl. As far as she's concerned, you're keeping that relationship with that boy means that you are trying to keep your links with that family and by extension with your ex. She doesn't think that you have fully moved on. And the evidence of that is that you've kept this there. You may have to find a way because you have to make a choice between that boy you're trying to help and your fiancé. And I think that you should pick the girl, the woman in your life. So find a way of facing out that what you do and the help you give to that boy. It's standing in the way of your relationship. Sacrifice it. Sometimes a relationship demands a sacrifice. In this case, your relationship is demanding you having to sacrifice whatever it is you are doing for this younger brother of somebody you have moved away from.
From Reggie. Sadly, my partner has started limiting himself or distancing himself using other stuff as an excuse. Do you think it's because of the distance between us or he is trying to do something else? I always respond to him, yet he does it at his own time.
Is this person outside Ghana? That's the long distance relationship. Is it outside Ghana? Is the person possibly in Europe or North America? The thing is that sometimes we have no idea the challenges that Ghanaians face outside. So if you are dating somebody there and the person is not getting in touch with you as often as you would be patient, because life out there is some way, to put it mildly.
Anastasia says, Uncle, I was placed in a friend zone and I got a text, I miss you. Uncle, please, I still don't get it. Why miss something you don't like?
Oh, well, Anas, I thought you said that you were in the friend zone. If you're in the friend zone, it means he likes you. Is that not the case? That's what, you are in the friend zone, so there's quite a lot of like there. So, so hey, yes, he misses you. Yes. So don't fight it. Just take it at face value. The guy misses a friend. That's all. Keep it there.
Well,
Keep it there.
Mercy has a follow to that. He said, I experienced what Anas said, but now the man is married to me and we have 2 lovely children.
Well, Mercy, good for you. Good for you. And Anas, I hope you heard Mercy's comment. So, but Anas, don't. If the guy put you in a friend zone, don't live in expectation that it will be Mercy's way. Otherwise, you may be the one who gets it. If he put you in a friend zone, stay in the friend zone, and wait for him to make the change. Otherwise, when someone comes along, hey, move on. And when you say, oh, but why? Say, well, you said I was a friend. I wanted to be more than a friend to somebody.
Is it Dupsy or Dupsy? I celebrated my husband on Facebook. It was his birthday and Father's Day too. He came out to write how he misses a lady he has been chatting on Facebook and only said thank you to me. I unfriended him. I think he doesn't want anyone to know I'm his wife, and that's very heartbreaking. Was I wrong in celebrating him?
No, you are not. You are not. And shame on him if he did not respond in the right way. But no, you didn't do anything wrong. And I think it was a sweet and wonderful thing you did. That he did not respond to it as he ought to is on him, not on you. And I hope he grows enough to know how to respond to love when it is expressed.
B says, this is one of the reasons I did not want to marry a Ghanaian. I feel sorry for women over there. In Burundi, where I am from, most men, when they get married, they see it as a new chapter and a new opportunity to grow and work hard for his wife.
Yeah.
So I feel so lucky that my husband never judges me on how I dress. Our home is a place where he can come, be himself, and enjoy a delicious food and be pumped up.
I'll take that as a comment. I will not respond to it.
7 said, I celebrated my husband on Facebook. It was his birthday.
No, it's been said already.
Okay.
It's been read. All right. Yes, let's say the last one.
Kofi Akoto says, Uncle, my wife Felicity says thank you, but we are coming again to watch the comeback, this time with the kids.
Ah, okay. We'll be happy to see you. And when you come and introduce yourself so that we could at least take a selfie. Or get somebody to take a selfie of us. Well, yes.
Okay, we have one more. Before that, Dempsey says thank you very much. From Michael, Uncle, please, if your lady is money conscious and she can't endure when you don't get money for her, and she can't endure when you don't get money for her, I realize she has a source of income. What do I do?
Well, remember what I said. If what made you attractive to that girl was money, then please keep it coming. Keep it coming. And young men, if you started wooing the girl with money, you must know that you cannot get to the point where you say, I don't have money. You must always have the money. because you used it. You didn't need to use money, but you decided to go that way. Sustain it. If you don't, you would have situations like that. Well, I'd like to thank you very much for staying with us. I do not take the fact that you make the time and also the investment in data to stay with us for granted. I appreciate that very much. We began today with the ABCs of love and relationships, of marriage. We've looked at A. Next week, God willing, we'll look at B. And remember, this weekend at the National Theatre, for those of you who are in Accra, my latest play, The Comeback, opens to the public. The times are 4 p.m. and 8, 2 shows a day. If you've never watched any of my shows, please, this is a good one to start with. So let us see you there. For now, may God keep and bless you and bless your relationships. And for those who've stayed with us who are not in any relationship, may God help you to find fulfillment. And when the right person comes, may he make your heart sing for joy. Once again, thank you very much for being with us.
Roverman Productions, in partnership with the National Theatre and Joy Pride, presents the latest Iboy play, The Comeback.
Our elders have said that it's not everything that have a greater, it's a roofing sheet. Yeah.
Hey, Jojo! Kalu, oh man, I care. Don't do.
The Comeback shows at the National Theatre on 2nd, 3rd, 9th, and 10th September 2017 at 4 p.m. and 8 p.m. Rates 80 Ghana cedis. Tickets available at Joy FM, Airport, Tema Community 11, and Dansuman Shell Shops, Bachana and Hatcho Total, Frankie's, Osu, and all usual outlets. Or call 050-554-6010. Sponsors: Bond Savings and Loans, FanMax from Fan Milk, and Zurian Multivitamin. Media partners: MyJoyOnline.com, Logistics Movers, DDP Outdoor, Daily Guide, B&FT, and Website Solutions. The Comeback. Get your tickets now.
Hello. They call me Uncle Ebo White. I am the CEO of Roman Productions, but I'm also very much committed to helping you become